Very good morning to all my kids. Welcome to our online e-learning classes. As you know that we have completed our chapter 11, that is transportation in animals and plants. So children, again after the explanation of the whole chapter in online classes, I'm going to revise the chapter here for you only. So the chapter is transportation in animals and plants. In this chapter, we will learn about our circulatory system and excretory system. So basically, the chapter is based on these two systems. Circulatory system, as you know that circulation, when anything rotates in our body with the help of blood, veins, arteries, and heart, this system is known as this whole process is known as circulatory system. So circulatory system helps a lot for the movement of the oxygen, for the movement of nutrients, and for proper supply of the vital things in the body from head to toe. So first thing that is given in this circulatory system is blood. The picture you can see here, in this picture you can see the whole circulatory system, how the channel of the circulatory system is found inside our body. This picture shows the whole system. Heart, you can see a muscular organ, that is heart, and the blue color structure, network of blue and red color, a complete network or web like structure you can see in your whole body. That blue color denotes vein, which carries impure or deoxygenated blood, whereas the red color represent arteries, which always carries the oxygenated blood. So arteries always carries oxygenated blood from the heart to the various other part of the body, whereas these blue color veins collects the deoxygenated blood from the various part, and it takes the all deoxygenated blood in the heart, and from there to the lungs, where they become again oxygenated. Okay, so this is all thing. The blood, now you are aware what is blood. Blood is a fluid liquid connective tissue which is responsible to carrying different nutrient, mineral, and oxygen. Okay, there are some parts of the blood, like blood is made up of RBCs, WBCs, platelets, and plasma. So you all have learned these kind of important facts about the chapter. After that, the RBC plasma, the liquid part is known as plasma. RBC, red blood cells, that is red because of the pigment hemoglobin. Actually, this hemoglobin is made by the heme, iron, and globin protein. So this is important for the transportation of oxygen, because oxygen combines with the globin protein, and then this oxyglobin bond becomes oxyhemoglobin bond is generated, and this is responsible to for the movement of oxygen, or for the transport of oxygen in the body. Now after that, WBC or white blood cells, we can say white blood cells as phagocytes, because they are like a soldier. They fight against the germs and kill the all infection inside the body. Now after that, the third part or third component is platelets. Platelets are actually the cell which is responsible for clotting. Okay, clotting will not occur without the platelets. Okay, so platelets, the the importance of platelets. If any injury, if we are suffering from any injury, these platelets are the only substance which are responsible for immediate clotting and for stopping the blood flow inside the body. Okay, so this is the very important thing. Now the blood vessels. So vessels, vessels are the container which carries the blood in the body, and there are three types of vessels: tubes, or we can say the tubes or tubules, which carries oxygenated blood or deoxygenated blood. On the basis of this, we can categorize the blood vessels into three parts: veins, arteries, and capillaries. Veins and arteries, you know, I have discussed earlier. One is carrying pure blood or oxygenated blood, that are arteries, and the other one always carry the deoxygenated blood. They denotes the always they denotes the in the blue color, and the third one is the capillaries. So capillaries are what? Capillaries are the fine hair-like tubules where the arteries connect. By the help of capillaries, arteries are connected to the veins. See this diagram. These are the capillaries, and if this is artery and this is vein, so arteries and veins are connected by the fine hair-like tubules or capillaries. Okay. Arteries, one thing more about the arteries. Arteries always carry oxygen rich blood. Okay, and they having very high amount of pressure. So because the flow is very fast and rapid, and they having a very high blood pressure inside it, so the walls of the arteries are thicker, whereas the veins are veins doesn't have such a high pressure and the flow also, so that the walls are thinner. So this is all about the veins and arteries. Now you can see the structure. The lungs, these are the two lungs. Then this is the heart, pulmonary vein and pulmonary artery. You know that generally arteries carries oxygenated blood and veins carry deoxygenated blood, but there are artery which always carry the deoxygenated blood, that is pulmonary artery. Now after that, heart is what? Heart is actually a muscular structure in which is the main organ of the circulatory system, which pumps rhythmically, and they pump the fresh oxygenated blood to all the part of the body. Okay, so you can see the picture, and I think all of you have aware about the diagram because you have made the diagram and in your holiday homework. So now you are aware what are the terms. Vena cava, aorta, this is the biggest artery. Then pulmonary artery always carries the deoxygenated blood. Then pulmonary vein, then left atrium and ventricle. Atrium is the upper part and ventricle are the lower part. So there are four chambers in the heart, two atrium and two ventricles, left and right atrium, left and right ventricles. Okay, and these two are connected by the valves. Okay, because so that these valves are very important for the structure of the heart, because these valves only are responsible for not mixing the pure blood into the impure blood. Okay, so this is all about the structure. Now the heartbeat, it is also an important point. What is actually heartbeat? You all felt the heartbeat. Always regularly we are feeling our heartbeat. That is a rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the heart muscles, because you know that our heart always contract or expand, and due to this regular contraction and expansion, our heart creates a beat, a sound that is known as heartbeat. So this rhythmic contraction followed by its relaxation constitute a heartbeat. Okay, so heartbeat actually denotes, we can measure the heartbeat or we can feel the heartbeat by the stethoscope. This is an instrument by which a doctor can hear the heartbeat of a patient, of a person. Okay, that is, the instrument is known as stethoscope. Okay, now after this, yes, we can say that each heartbeat generates one pulse in the arteries, and the pulse rate per minute indicates the rate of heartbeat. You can easily feel your heartbeat. You can easily count. Doctor can easily count the heartbeat per minute. Say a healthy, a normal person having the 70 to 80 times her or his heart beats. So this is the general pulse rate or heartbeat of a healthy person. Okay, so this is your heartbeat. And now the important thing, one of the important thing is that the circulation is discovered by a scientist, a doctor, English physician. He was William Harvey. Okay, so he discovered the circulation of blood. Now after that, there is the rest part which is left in this chapter, that is excretion, excretory system. In this chapter we will also learn about the excretion and excretory system. So you know, excretion is what? The removal of waste product from the body, from the living organism, is known as excretion. And the whole body part in the excretion or in the excretion process, there are certain organs involved inside the body, and these organs constitute a complete system which are known as excretory system. So in human excretory system, the major organ is kidney. You know that every human being having two kidneys, a bean like structure, they are kidneys. And a part of kidneys, there are two tubes which are attached with the kidneys, and then there is a bag like structure or bladder where the urine is collected. This is known as urinary bladder, and the mouth opening, that is urethra, by which urine is discarded from the body. Okay, so this is your excretory system. Now a kidney, ureter, bladder and urethra forms the excretory system. These are the organs. Now an adult human being normally removes or passes 1 to 1.8 liter of urine in 24 hours or in a day. The composition of urine, we can say that the 95% is of water, 95% is of water, 2.5% urea and 2.5% other waste products are involved. Okay, so this is all about your urinary system, excretory system and excretion. Okay, so children, after that we can also learn about the transportation in the plant. Before this we have learned about the transportation in animals and human beings, and now transportation in plants. You know, plants are also a living part. They also grow. They also require food and water. So we haven't seen any structure, any organ who is responsible for sucking, but of course there are certain special organs like roots, which are underground part. They having a hair like structure which are known as root hair. So these root hair and roots are responsible to absorb the water and minerals for the whole plant body. And there are certain things which are responsible or which create a complete system. They are known as vascular tissues. As we have a different kind of system in our body, like circulatory system, like excretory system, similarly plants also having a special type of cells or tissues which they only perform the absorption and movement of the substances from the leaves to the root and from the root to the leaves. Okay, so these are the vascular tissues. So first of all, what are tissues? So tissues are actually a group of cells. Tissues are the group of cells where they perform a specialized function. They gather and they perform a special task in a group. They become tissue. So these are actually vascular tissues. Vascular tissues are responsible for the transportation of water or transportation of mineral or transportation of food which are prepared in the leaves. So first vascular tissue is xylem and the second vascular tissue is phloem. Xylem is responsible for the movement or for the transportation of water and nutrient from the root to the various other part of the plant. Whereas phloem is the vascular tissue which transport the food which is prepared inside the leaf, and this phloem transport the food from the leaf to the various other body part. Okay, so these xylem and phloem plays a very important role in the transportation of the nutrient, minerals, water and food. Okay, so this is all about your transportation of transportation of substances in plants. Now you can see that there is the rest part, that is transpiration. As human being do sweating or perspiration, similarly plants also remove the extra amount of water from their leaves opening or stomatal opening. That process is known as transpiration. So this is all about the chapter. The summary of the chapter is very important, so please learn it by heart, because so many question will come or arise from this portion or this segment. So children, I hope you all have understood and this revision video will help you a lot. Thank you for watching this video.